I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Wisconsin sports trade rumors and news. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. It's the doubleheader Saturday today. Right now, the Bucks are finishing up, getting a win in Chicago versus the Chicago Bulls. Shout out to the Bucks. And then we have the Ravens and Packers battling at Lambeau. Shout out to Bleacher Report boss. He is currently at the game getting it in. Shout out to the Bleacher Report boss. Enjoy the game, bro. Hopefully you pull it off in the fourth. What's up with y'all friends and family? Please hit the like button as y'all come in the building. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. We got the Bucks getting a win. The return of Giannis. What do y'all think? Y'all know how a lot of us felt about Giannis coming back. We thought he should have kind of shut it down for the season, but he came back and we immediately started playing better. Rollins, everyone looked a lot more comfortable out there on the floor. They looked like they found their daddy. No disrespect. They just looked like they were playing better. And I know we did some foolishness out there. I know it was a lot of hacking, uh fouling and turnovers and some bad shot selection and all of that. But that's just what it is with the Bucks. That's what we do. We can only focus for so long, but let's just be thankful that we were focusing long enough to get this win. And let's be happy that Giannis made it through this game without any further injuries or anything going wrong. He played well. He played obviously limited minutes, but he played very well, very impactful today. I want to give Bobby Portis credit as well. He played very well offensively and carried us in moments when we really couldn't get a bucket. He was getting buckets. So I do want to give Bobby Portis credit. This is not talking about his defense. He'll never be a good defender, but he gave us offense when we needed tonight, and we did need his offense. And I want to give Ryan Rollins his credit. He had a bounce back game today, played very well, hit a big three down the stretch in this game to kind of get the lead up to four. And that's kind of, we didn't look back from there. So I want to give Ryan Rounds his credit. Also, no disrespect. I believe AJ Green should be coming off the bench. I think he's just better suited for this team coming off the bench. I think it'll give him a little bit more advantages. I know the pros and cons. AJ Green as far as stretching the defense and things like that, but I think KPJ and Rob, they just got to figure it out. I think they just gotta figure it out. But I'm just happy we got a win. I don't want to complain too much. Wins have been hard to come by recently for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially this year. So I don't want to complain too much. I'm just happy we won. I'm happy people played well and it wasn't no crazy injuries. That tech that I thought that Kuzma got as well was warranted, but he needed to say what he said. I can't repeat what he said, but he definitely needed to say that. These referees are definitely OC, but we know that, so it's just hard to complain about something that we already know. But yet again, let's just be happy, friends and family. We got to win against a rival, no less. So let's look at a positive, right, friends and fans. We've beaten two rivals in the last couple of days. We beat the Pacers. Now we beat the Bulls. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I just want to have some like positives in there as well. Y'all, we'll go over these numbers here. Also, salute the friends and family. What's good, Bucks Nation? Packer Nation up in here too. I know we chopping it about both. I don't know. Hey, friends and fans, has that ever happened before? Like the Bucks and Packers playing on a Saturday night at the exact same time, or any day at the exact same time? That's actually wild. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I'd be interested to know if that happened before. But let's get into these stats for this Bucks game. Let me make sure I got the right link up. All right, hold on one second, y'all. All right, Bucks with a win. 112-103 against one of our crosstown rivals, the Chicago Bulls. This was a nip and tuck affair the whole way. There was runs by both teams, but the Bucks made the run and executed. You know what? I saw you in the chat, No Strays, talking about the Bucks don't execute. We executed down the stretch in this game, didn't we? We executed down the stretch. That's how we won. We executed down the stretch. But hey, just give credit where credit's due. We have fumbled the bag a few times down the stretch, but at least today we did not do that. People hit big shots. AJ Green didn't give us much, but he hit a shot when he needed to. Ryan Robb got buckets when he needed to. So I'm just proud of the win, and on the road also is impressive. Shout out to the Bucks. The return of Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we needed all it, man. Giannis is funny. Giannis come back like he never left. 29 points in 25 minutes. And I want to say I like the minutes. He should be no more than 30 minutes in a game. We just don't we just shouldn't need him to play that long. But 29 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and we needed all of those free throws. Shout out to Giannis for shooting 80% from the line. We get on his helmet a lot about free throw shooting. He shot well today. He shot well on the road. Give Giannis his credit on his first game back after missing 8 games to put up this type of performance is impressive. He had 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block. Shout out to Giannis. Miles Turner kicked in late with double figures finally, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Those two back-to-back threes really helped Miles Turner. Otherwise, I got to be real, he wasn't doing anything offensively until those back-to-back threes put him in double figure. I am still concerned about Miles Turner, his fit, and his production with this team. Let's be clear. And a very interesting game from Kevin Porter Jr. 39 minutes, only 8 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. I mean, 6 rebounds. He did have 9 assists again with the turnovers, 4 turnovers, 4 steals. Why wasn't Kevin Porter Jr. being aggressive today? Somebody let me know in the chat. What's going on? That's 2 games in a row, and then today he didn't look right either. So what's going on with Kevin Porter Jr.? Is this a random glitch? Is this something we need to be concerned about? Let's talk about it, y'all. AJ Green, 28 minutes, only 6 points, 2 of 9, 2 of 8 from three, but he did hit a big three late. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Another kind of slow performance from AJ Green. And my secondary MVP, Ryan Rollins, 35 minutes, 20 points, 7 of 12, 5 of 9 from three, 1 of 2 from the 3 point line, from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals. And shout out to the Bucks also today for cutting down on the turnovers. We only had 10 turnovers today. Can we get the likes up for the Bucks only having 10 turnovers in a complete game? That's what they'll usually do in a half. Let's be real, friends and family. That's what they'll usually do in a half. Having 10 turnovers. To have that in the game is impressive. Followed up with 12 steals. So shout out to them for that. And also, I want to give them Bobby Portis his credit. 24 minutes, 17 points, 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 3 from three, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, 2 steals from Bobby. No qualms with Bobby's performance today. Obviously, defense is what it is, but offensively, if he's gonna cook, that's what we need. Kyle Kuzma, not his strongest performance. He made some little bonehead plays out there, but nonetheless, 23 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 0 of 2 from the 3 point line, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. Jericho Sims gave us 17 minutes, 4 points, 7 rebounds. Not bad. Gary Harris, not his best game. I thought he played okay, but made some bonehead plays out there as well. But nonetheless, we have secured the win, and that's what really matters. Also, let's get into what the Bulls did. Nobody really stood out. I mean, Vukovic played well. Kobe White solid. I'm happy that we shut down Giddy. Giddy has been giving us problems in the past, and to hold him to 13 points, I think is a big difference in this game. Because when Diddy is I said Diddy. When Giddy is hooping, they're a completely different team. So I think it's huge that we were able to kind of contain Giddy in this game. I thought that was huge on the Buck side to control Giddy. Zach Collins had a double double. Jalen Smith had 6 points, 10 rebounds. They were dominating early in the rebounds by more than 10, but for the Bucks to cut it down 47 to 52 lets me know they kind of got it together as far as trying to get on those boards. Another thing is 22 assists is okay, but I still think that's low. I really like it around that 30 mark because that lets me know the ball isn't sticking in people's hands. And I think throughout this game, not the whole game, but there was a lot of moments where the ball was sticking in hands. A lot of that was when Bobby was on the floor. No disrespect, I know Bobby played solid today, but the ball was sticking in Bobby's hands a lot too. But I would love to see that assist total come up for the Milwaukee Bucks moving forward. 22 is a little higher. Last game I think it was 18. Like we got to get this figured out. We also got to see what's going on with Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know if he needs a DNP. And again, today he almost played 40 minutes just to kind of, rest and gather his thoughts. I'm not sure, but he hasn't looked like himself. And the biggest thing, team stat wise, they shot more shots than us by only by 7. We shot better field goal percentage. This is just a pretty equal game for the most part. Besides steals, 12-5. Rebounding is fairly even for the most part. We even had offensive rebounds today. Uh, this was a close game, and we executed down the stretch when we needed to. That's really what happened. We executed when we needed to. This game was winnable for both parties, and we executed more when we needed to. Period. Period. So I want to say shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to Giannis. I want to say I really think Giannis playing less than 30 minutes is key for him being active for the playoffs if we can make the playoffs. I like him playing around 30 minutes to preserve his body. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let's see what's going on. Let me check these Packers out too real quick. Packers are down 10, 34-24. We can't stop the run. Derrick Henry is going crazy on us right now. Jesus Christ. Look like a video game. Let me see who in the chat. Open up the lines and let's chop it up. Sadowski, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Mia Kim, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Boy Mommy, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Patricia, Dre West, what's good? Mia Kim, what's good? Robert Brooks, Eli Harris, I see you. Appreciate you. Greg Delaney was good. No strays, ENT, we won. What you got slick to say now? We won, sir. What you got slick to say? Pickle Lou was good. Jeff Riley was good. Trina, Queens of the chatting here. Heavy early. BKC, I see you. Boy, mommy, what's up? Hey, what's good? Bucks number one. Good to see you, bro. Derrick Stevenson was good. Tony Tone, the childish one, I see you. We just gotta be happy about the win, y'all. Let's not complain too much. We gotta win. That's what matters. Hey, that's what's most important in this whole situation. We gotta win. No, the officiating wasn't perfect. No, Kuzma wasn't perfect. No, Miles Turner didn't play his best game, but or Kevin Porter, but we did enough to get the W, and that's what matters most. Get to some of these comments. Hey, what up, Clayton? What up, Anthony Lacey? Pronte was good. Uncle Mike was good. Simeon, I see you. Appreciate you tapping in. What up, AB? Jimmy Roller was good. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, KPJ is very opportunistic on the defensive side. Definitely want to give him credit on that with those four steals. Absolutely. Shout out to KPJ for that. Definitely getting it in on that. It was a good game. T Money Bags agreed. Truth Daily, yeah. I'm not getting happy. I'm just saying it's good to get a win, bro. I'm not getting happy. I'm just saying it's good to get a win. But hey, bro, we were looking like bottom feeders, bro. Any win helps. So we gonna be excited about any wins for the most part. We've been struggling mightily, bro. Mightily. My man, hey, what up, AB? Said I saw the fix was in last week for football. Come on, bro. Shout out to AB. Clayton was good. If Jericho can get better with handling the ball, those layups today show that he can be a part of this offense. Yeah, but I don't know. You can't get bigger hands though, Clayton. That's the problem. He got smaller hands. That's always going to be an issue. He don't got a mitt. Like if you look at Kawhi Leonard got a mitt. You know what I'm saying? I got a mitt. You know what I'm saying? Who else got one? Like Mike, though you got a mitt. If you don't got a mitt, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Chris Webber got a mitt. You can't make your hands no bigger, bro. That's just something he gonna have to deal with respectfully. I don't see how he can like kind of address that. I think that's more of a genetics issue. What up, Fronte? Jeff Hafley game plan was garbage. He has to realize he doesn't have Mike on the blitz and you might get a sack. Fact, shout out to Fronte. The childish one, KPJ will be fine. Him and GA have barely played together this season. He will find his footing again. It's always going to be an adjustment period when Giannis is out. And then, obviously, as we stated before, it's going to be an adjustment period when Giannis returns. We're happy he's back. He comes back, we immediately get a win. But I do want us to monitor his health, and I think he should be load managed. I'm 100% on that. He needs to be low managed, and his cap on minutes should be 30 minutes unless it's a playoff game or for playoff seeding or something like that. We have to protect our asset. We have to be honest friends and family. Giannis is the only true asset that this team has, and he needs to be protected at all costs, period, from himself. So I do think we need to monitor those minutes from Giannis and also limit his minutes to about 30. And I also, as much as I talk crazy about Bobby, and I'm never gonna say I don't want him traded, I do want to give him credit. He's been playing well over this last week or so offensively. Bobby's been giving us good production on the offensive end. I want to give him his credit on that. And I saw a lot of people bombing on Gary Harris. To keep it real, Gary Harris for his position and where he is on the team, he's been playing well up until today, which was kind of one of his not so good games. But he's been giving us good minutes. Let's not take a number two on Gary Harris. He for the minutes that he's been given, he's been playing professional basketball, as my guy Mr. Cool would say. Shout out to Mr. Cool. He's a professional. He'll have off games from time to time, but I think that he's been an asset for the most part on this squad. Let me see what else going on here. What up? What up, Scales? What you talking about up in here? Yeah. Shout out to you, Scales. My boy Scales said Rollins and KPJ with Giannis is not. Yeah, I think that they just got to get that figured out. But I think Rollins and KPJ have to start together. They have to figure it out. You can't just say, "Oh, well, it's not working." But no, you got to figure it out. That's too much talent not to figure it out. That no disrespect to AJ Green, he doesn't give us the explosiveness that those players do give us as far as Rollins or KPJ in the starting lineup versus himself. But I do like AJ Green going against other teams' second units. I feel like he has more advantages. He can get a shot easier, and he's not as suffocated as he is when he starts, and doesn't have to worry about going against such premium offensive players. They're going to cause him a lot of issues on the defensive end. So y'all let me know. Are y'all done with AJ Green starting? Okay, what up, Taj Valentine? We need to explore the lineup of KPJ, Ryan Rollins. Okay, BP and GA. Interesting. Interesting. Not mad at that. Salute. I'm not mad at that. When you bet the under 16 and a half on Josh Giddey just made all my Christmas money back. So we helped you, no strays. We helped you, no strays. Much as you was in here popping your stuff, we helped you. Show some love to friends and family. Hit the like button. Bro, Robert Brooks, you already know, son. Hey, Bobby, keep it going, sir. Get that trade value up, bro. You play no defense, but you have some solid offense. Get him out of here. When we can, Bobby keep playing like this, he definitely gonna get his trade value up, and that's what we want. Let's not get enamored by Bobby's offense and think we should keep Bobby. I don't want to hear none of that. Don't hear none of that. Because I know that's what's called. Oh, maybe we should keep Bobby. Maybe we can figure. Nah, you can't. You can't figure out no athleticism. You can't figure out Goofy. You can't figure out Goofy. You just can't. That's something you can't figure out. That is what it is. When you're a Goofy, you're a Goofy. He's a Goofy. Respectfully. Yes, he'll have his offensive explosion moments, but all the other stuff is goofy. The no resistance on defense. The you can't. His layup package. Bobby on the layup is 50% at best. Don't forget about that stuff because he had a couple of hot games. Don't forget about the problems and the issues. I just want to throw that out there. Don't get cute. Talking about trying to keep him and all of that. Don't get cute up in here. Just saying. Yeah, Jeff Riley. Yes, Malik Willis was hurt, sir, and the Green Bay Packers have the worst strength and conditioning staff in all of sports. They all should be fired and be ashamed of themselves. We'll get into that a little later, though, Jeff. The Packers have been the most hurt team over the last 20 years. I guarantee you. Man, yeah, their strength and conditioning is crazy. Bobby been holding it down and needs to start over Miles. Damn, are we there now? Hey, friends and family, he said Bobby should start over Miles. You can't do that, bro. Miles is getting 30 million, bro. You can't do that. I know it might be something cool to experiment with, but you can't do that. Bobby getting 30. Yeah, Trina, Malik is hurt. I don't either, Drug West. I don't mind Gary Harris. I think he gonna come in there and do his job. I'm with you. I've been singing Gary Harris praises for at least the last couple weeks. Whenever he's come in there, he's been productive. What up, Jonathan Porter? Salute. Yep, Malik is out. What up, Scales? Facts. They have to, and with Giannis, it take the turnovers way down. They all sharing the ball and handling responsibility. That's true. That's a good point. What Scales is bringing up now with Giannis back, It's not as much pressure on ball handling with KPJ or Riles, and that should cut down the turnovers. Great point. Great point. Salute to the homie Scale. Shout out to the Scale Slick Talk with Scales podcast. Wednesdays and Fridays, my dude, right? Salute. At K Real, what's good? Of course, AJ Green should start shaking my head. That's not even, it. Now, hold on. We're not gonna disrespect AJ Green. Like we're not gonna do all that. AJ Green shooting does affect other teams' defensive schemes. We're not gonna do that. AJ Green has been shooting pretty much damn near 50% all year from three. We not gonna take a number two on him. He had an off game today, but we're not gonna do that. AJ Green is definitely impacts opponents' defenses. We're not gonna do that, bro. We gotta show love. We're not gonna do that. Shout out to AJ Green. Y'all know that's my boy. Mr. Cool, what's good? I believe this starting lineup tonight was at the request of Giannis. What made you say that, Mr. Cool? That's interesting. Ryan Rod towards ACL when he went down with that knee injury. Doc didn't even call a timeout. And you know Doc on a different type of time, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Rounds look crazy. These injuries and these ACLs, I don't even want to talk about that type of stuff, bro. I just want us to finish this year healthy and see what happens. That's a fair point, T1. He back, and I feel like that too. Doc plays players by their salaries, not production. Fair point. Fair point. And that's why some of these rotations are so weird. I completely agree with you. I think that's 100% why these rotations so weird. The childish one. This starting lineup is now 3-1. Small sample size, but I like this 35. That's a Giannis has not been healthy that much this year, so the small sample size is all we have. And if that 3-1 is a winning record, we need to go with it. I don't think we have many lineups with a winning record to keep it real. So if that's one of them, well, yeah, let's go with that. Let's see what happens. I'm with you. My boy Prate said the Packers receivers are a problem. 100%. 100%. There's a lot of problems with these Wisconsin sport teams now. Sadly, sadly. So, how do y'all feel now about the team with Giannis coming back? Are y'all still feeling blow it up? Or y'all now let's see what we can do, make a move. Where are y'all at right now? I want to see in the comment section. Are y'all still feeling blow it up, or now y'all like, oh, y'all see Giannis and he's still playing like he's supposed to? Are y'all saying let's ride it out with Giannis, or y'all still in trade mode with Giannis? Let me know in the comment section. It'd be interesting now after seeing this lineup. What up? What up? What up? Shout out to you, King Case. What's good? Salute to you, bro. Hope all is well. Ryan Love said, I think trading Trent and Turner is the answer. And to get who though? To get who? If you packaged Trent ain't even making no money like that. What is Trent making? Like 2, 3 million? And then you got Turner with 32. Who would you get with 30 million? Who would you go and get? Let me know in the comment. Eliza, what's good, man? Shout out to the queens of the chat. Love that Giannis went rogue. Giannis has some oppositional defiant disorder this year, clearly. Clearly. But hey, we needed him back. We got to win with him. And he gave us 29 points, an efficient 29 points. And I want to emphasize the 8 of 10 from the free throw line. That was impressive from Giannis. 8 of 10. Let's give him his flowers. Yeah, Willis got hurt, Dre. They didn't look horrible, Scales. Good is a strong saying that Doc does anything good is a strong word. I would say that it was acceptable. I would say acceptable. I don't want to say good. That's a little strong. I would say acceptable. Shout out to the homie 78 Sports TV. The general was good. How is Jordan Love still out? This is why Favre was my favorite quarterback of all time. Yo, come on, man. Did you not see how my guy got hit? Come on, man. 78. This ain't that back then where you can just pump people up with that one drug they used to pump them up where they don't feel nothing. This is a different era. And damn, 78. I'm gonna tell you for you bringing that up, 78. I'm gonna say something. It could be controversial. I think the Packers need to pay whatever it takes to keep Malik Willis. I'm saying that because Jordan Love has shown that he's very injury prone. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but he is very injury prone. And Malik Willis is a starting quarterback. You take that how you want it. I'm not saying that I want him to start over Jordan Love. Obviously, Jordan Love is an extremely talented player. What I'm saying is that he is often injured, and we need a security blanket. And Malik Willis is one of the best security blankets you can get in the league. So I just want to keep that in mind because we need him re-signed to a multi-year deal. Period. What up, Dr. Smith? Appreciate you tapping in, sir. What's good? Just talking about this Packers and talking a little Bucks as well. Talking about both. Hey, we coming off a Bucks win. Packers are struggling. We can't stop the run. I know a lot of people blame that on Devontae Wyatt. I blame it on everybody else being weak. I think our defensive line is trash. I think everybody on our defensive line is horrible, besides Micah Parsons and Devontae White. I think everyone that has a defensive line label on the Green Bay Packers is trash, complete trash. You can cut them off for the most part. Besides Wyatt, Micah Parsons, they're all replaceable and trash. Period. They're not moving the needle. Facts, Dr. Smith. I hope I'm happy we're watchable today. Facts. What up, Marcus? I don't see what y'all see, but I hate Kuzma's game. Dude hit the side of the backboard on a jumper, pure garbage. No, he's not garbage, bro. I won't call him garbage. He has his moments where he'll what we call cool, but he's not garbage, bro. He's not garbage. When utilized correctly, he can be very efficient. We tap in Dr. Smith here. Hold on one second, y'all. I gotta get this together. What up, Dr. Smith? I'm just happy we got a win. Giannis played the game safely. And I'm trying not
Sort
to
of,
complain.
sort of. Someone said make it out of Chicago, right? They almost ran down on him on the court. I'm just happy we're watchable again. I'm just happy we're watchable again. Giannis does like a lot of unnecessary stuff. I love him though. That was definitely unnecessary, but whatever. Whatever. I'm just happy we're watchable again. This is like one of those do whatever you want, fam. As long as we win the game and you're
Facts.
not out there like spitting on people or anything like that, I'm cool with it. You get like a one game pass where I'm like, all right, well, here we go with the dumb stuff, unnecessary stuff, but whatever. I don't care. I'm just happy we're
Right.
somewhat watch. I'm still a big fan. They will never do it, but I'm still a big fan of moving on from Bobby Portis. I don't care what kind of game he had
Oh,
tonight. See you
yeah.
later.
Same.
See you later. Gary Trent. I don't like you said. I don't know what money he's making, but we'll whatever. Figure it out. Jericho Sims, figure it out. And if we could, Miles Turner, but they wouldn't do it. So I mean, like, there's a whole bunch of. But these Packers, here we go. Is Derrick Henry about to run for another touchdown again? We're going to the playoffs, by the way. I want you to know this. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs.
Derrick
This is a
Henry had
three-game losing
36
streak.
carries, 216 yards, 6 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. Before you go into Rashan Gary, I don't like you as a human. I'm gonna put that out there off rip. I don't like you as a human. You're not trying hard. You're overpaid and you're terrible. Cutting immediately. Trash. The whole
Did he not?
defensive line. Trash.
Did he not? And that was exactly on Rashawn Gary that time. See, before, like I said, sometimes I think people will give him like a hard time, and then I do feel like I'm defending him. The one, all right. So remember the complaint that I had made before, right? With people getting on Rashan Gary, he's not getting enough sacks. He's constantly like a step too short. And my defense of him, and I'm not going to stay too long tonight, but my defense of it, now they rocking the cheese grater hats. This team is soft, bro. We
Yeah.
got soft like real quick. We weren't soft all season. We weren't soft most of the season, but real quick right here, we just turned super soft, and now everybody's doing it. They're rocking the cheese grater hats.
Right.
That's what's up, and we've invited that into our house. The point that I was making was that people used to get on Rashawn Gary for not getting sacks. And what I was saying was is that before in the past, when we would celebrate Rashawn Gary for sacks, oftentimes he was breaking contain and
Okay.
destroying the defense, right? And so he wouldn't hold this, he wouldn't seal the edge. And just completely collapse the defense. So occasionally when he would get the sack, we'd all be clapping for it. But what we weren't watching enough was how often he gave up the edge. This us not doing our due diligence as fans and being on
Right.
top of it. Well, now he's back to doing the same thing. Derrick Henry just ran right around where Rashawn Gary was supposed to be. But at least he was chasing the sack though, right? Mizzou's running all over us. And we're going to the playoffs not knowing how to stop the run once again. We have the softest lines, offense and defense, of
Right.
any team going to the playoffs. And we just get run around.
I'm gonna
And
be
now
honest
Rashawn
with you
Gary's
about the
chasing it.
Packers. I'm gonna be honest. The Packers aren't a playoff caliber team. They're not. I'm gonna say y'all can. I know people. Oh, the Aaron won one at 27. This is a different time. This is a different era, and the injuries are piling up on this team. I don't see us past the first round. I don't know how do we get out the first round. I don't know.
I think we could beat the Bears if we played them, but I think that's the
Yeah,
only team that we could. And
and
and I
that's not
think
a
we could beat
gimme.
the
That's not a
Bears.
gimme.
Right. And I think that's the only team that we could beat. I was saying it before. Look, I was saying wait till we play the Rams and watch what Puka Nakua does to our corners. But I
Right,
mean, evidently, is wait till we play anyone that has a running back and watch what that running back does to our defensive line. I agree
right.
wholeheartedly with you. Without Devontae Wyatt, without Micah Parsons, our defensive line is absolute trash.
It is.
Absolute trash.
That's what Luke Van Ness or
Absolute trash.
anybody else you want to name or terrible. Period. Terrible. Terrible. And then just to
Oh,
switch back to the Bucks real quick too. KPJ that had a couple slow games. You think anything going on?
nah. I just
Hmm.
think all of them. I won't be able to get a good feel of the Bucks until about 5 games into this, 6 games into this. Giannis is back. The team is so centered around him that for like the last, I think they do up a stat. We were 3-13 or 3-11 without him. That means we played 14 games without Giannis, right? I don't have a good feel for this team. I thought I did, but they're so Giannis focused that you have to watch him play. This dude got over 200 yards on us. I know you want
216.
to
Yeah.
stay with the Bucks. It's hard for me to stay with the Bucks. I'm happy that the Bucks
No,
got the
no, go
win. I
ahead.
really
We
am.
that is both. That's why this is Wisconsin Sports Line. We're gonna flip back and forth. Just be patient with us, friends. Back. We gonna talk Bucks. We talking Packers. It's an ebb and flow
This
here. Wax on, wax
team,
off. Mr. Miyagi.
this team is absolute trash. Like this embarrassing. They're styling on us, man. They're styling on us. They did this on your home field.
With a
They're
quarterback that threw
styling on
for
you.
107 yards. 107 yards. I do want to give a shout out to Christian Watson. He's definitely the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad someone showed up to play football today. And Malik
Right.
Willis. There's no way we resign Malik Willis. You can't afford to. You can't afford it. His price tag went right through the roof, and we have too many other needs. Appreciate he's just like Jeff Hafley. Appreciate him for now for what we have of him. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for the years. Off you go. Off
Right.
you go. There's so many other teams that need quarterbacks right now. There's no, like we
Do
can't
you think we
afford
can
Malik
trade it?
Willis.
Do you think we can trade him and get anything?
No, because he's done this year. The time to trade him was last year. And they couldn't do that because he's their insurance policy. We knew this, though. We knew going into the year that you weren't going to be able to keep Malik Willis because of what he did last year. This is just icing on the cake. This is just icing on the cake. You're not gonna be able to keep Malik Willis. You're not gonna be able to keep Jeff Hafley. That's just it. So get this dude that's in now. Get as much. This is without Lamar Woodley, man, and they ran all
Lamar
over
Jackson.
us.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. I said Lamar
Right.
Woodley. My fault.
Right.
Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
Without Lamar Jackson,
The Packers have
this
always been
defense is
susceptible to
trash,
the
bro.
run. Yeah, we're not we're gonna. I just don't see what we can do in the playoff. Even playing the Care Bears ain't a gimme. The Care Bears run the ball. They got two solid running backs. So I just don't know
You
what to
you
say.
you you can win if you get into a shootout with them.
Yeah,
Because I don't believe in their defense, right? If you had Jordan Love and we had all of our weapons, but we don't have all of our weapons. We don't have Tucker
he,
Craft.
and then we
So I
let's not
think with the
forget too.
weapons,
Josh Jacobs is not healthy either.
yeah. So I think we could beat the Bears, and that would be a shootout. I think it could be a toss up, and I don't think we beat anyone else in the playoffs. We for sure don't beat the Chargers. Excuse
Oh
me, the
nah.
Seahawks. We for sure don't
See
beat
her.
the Rams. We for sure don't beat the Eagles. Even with the Eagles struggling, we don't for sure. I'm tired of like these guys on this offensive line that are just big. You're just big. You're not weight room big. You're buffet line big, man. I'm sorry if that hurts somebody's feelings. These guys are just big. You're just big. You're not football
Yo.
big, man.
Right.
And it's the same thing with our
Hilarious.
interior defensive line. You want to talk about key losses. One of the biggest losses that we had was at the beginning of this season when we lost TJ Slayton. You lost him in the offseason. TJ Slayton was your big, like, anchor right there in the middle. He's your
That's
big
true.
anchor. And you lose him to the Bengals because you couldn't afford to re sign him. And in the very beginning, when we had Kobe Wooden bulk up, that was a part of it, but there's no one behind Kobe Wood. So there's no real mass in the middle. You know what your assignment is in the
Hmm.
draft. It was the same thing as last year. It's the same shopping list. We need the same things. We need corners because Keyshawn Nixon ain't it, and neither is Nate Hobbs. So you still need corners just like you needed them before. You need
Facts.
defensive line, interior. You lost TJ Slayton. You did not replace him with someone that's like super reliable. Kobe Wooden is not a bad football player. He
I
just
agree.
wore down over time, and then without Devontae Wyatt, he's not it. And you don't have options. You want to have like interior pass rush. That's what Devontae Wyatt is for. But you don't really have any houses in the middle, especially if Kobe Wooden has to come off the field. And who you got? Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks ain't stopping a run. You saw what they did tonight. So we got
And that's
like you got a. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
no, no, go ahead. I'm just saying we got a lot of issues to kind of figure out. And Hafley has to figure out how to hide that if it's going to be blitz. And then if you're blitzing, that's the thing people don't understand with the Packers. I know people want to bomb on Hafley, but he's in between a rock and a hard place. If he blitz to bring pressure because these dummies on the defensive line can't give pressure, now you're exposing uh, Nixon and you're exposing Valentine
Yeah.
because they're both susceptible to double moves. So you can't do that either. How does he coach this? How does he coach this defense?
As best as you can. People bombing on Hafley. I would have a conniption. I Hafley's my brother. Do you see what he's been doing with this team and the weaknesses that we have? Are you crazy? You can't. You don't have anyone that can get to the quarterback within 7 seconds. We're right back to that. We're right back to
Oh,
that. Last year, excuse me, drive of the playoffs when we were against the Eagles. I don't know if you remember, right? But that was when their quarterback had 7 seconds to throw the ball.
hmm
7 seconds. We're right back to that personnel. And you have the corners that you've just seen. Carrington Valentine, if he misses another tackle, I'm gonna jump out the window. If he misses another tackle, I'm gonna jump out the window. I'm not really gonna jump out the window, but that's how bad he is. And Keyshawn Nixon is Keyshawn Nixon. And that's it. They can't let me have nice things. What's up, big man? How you feel, bro? How you
what up,
feel, big man?
Project?
What up, y'all?
What up?
It's good to see Giannis back.
Yeah,
It there you go.
And look,
There
Giannis,
you go.
Giannis. Look, we've been talking about trading Giannis. Do we really want to trade Giannis?
that's
We
what I
saw the
asked
Bucks.
earlier. That's what I
We got a
asked
preview
earlier.
without the Bucks without Giannis. Do we really want to trade him?
we're not even a basketball team without him.
That
I
we
agree.
not we a lottery pick. We a first round draft pick basketball team without Giannis. First number one pick basketball team without Giannis. Let's be honest. Like
Giannis
that's
and
that's
Dame.
like you don't trade players like Giannis. It's just I'm sorry. I can't see it.
We
Um
are roll tide without Giannis. We are
Yeah.
Alabama with Giannis.
if
College.
I
if
mean, as much as he's a flawed superstar as some people call him, but is he that flawed? Not really. He's just a unique player, bro. Like just accept that he's one of the more unique players in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like you can't get no more unique than Giannis in the NBA. He runs to his own drum. Simple as that. And the league has yet they tried to figure out, but they can't stop him either way.
true.
And that's just the bottom line. Like our team look way different with Giannis on the court than with him off the court.
We look like
We
a
can finish
professional basketball
as much
team.
as we call Giannis not a finisher. We don't finish that game without Giannis coming back on the court.
I agree.
I mean, I
Thing
think that
was
we need to have the Bucks. Remember when Iverson was on the 76ers
Hmm.
and he
a
was an
good
offensive
comparison.
machine. You know
A
what I
good
mean?
comparison.
Problem is the other players ain't doing what they supposed to do, and I think we saw that when his absence was gone. Like they don't play hard enough. As simple as that. They don't rebound. They don't play, and it's all coaching. Like if we had a Larry Brown as a coach
A lot of
with
that be
Giannis, we,
fixed.
we, we would be winning a lot of games because he would know how to finish. He would get everybody doing and playing hard nosed basketball. You just gotta play hard nosed basketball with Giannis on the court. It's simple. It really is simple, but everybody trying to make a name out of themselves and try to, establish their own careers, trying to get a contract. You got too many players like that on the Bucks that ain't doing what they supposed to do. And that's rebound and play defense. Simple as
It's
that.
just play
Hustle, rebound.
fundamentally sound, just basketball. Just do the little things. That's how you win
Yeah,
games.
but the coach
That's
got
that's
to
how the
emphasize that.
Spurs win. I always use the Spurs as an example. How you think they win in games and beating OKC? Being fundamentally sound,
Three
attention to
times.
detail. You can't
Three
beat no
times.
team like OKC doing what we be doing, hacking, errant passes, just doing all this recklessness. You have to be polished. We're not polished yet. We're not polished yet. Maybe we can
Yeah, we're
be.
not polished, but we're not polished. You right, we're not polished. But we just ain't playing our roles like superstars in our roles, and we don't have a coach that emphasize that and demand that from his players. That's simple as that. And that's all you need with a player like Giannis. That's how we won a championship the last time. Play your role, be a superstar in your role. We got a generational player right here, kind of Allen Iverson. He ain't Allen Iverson, but he can carry a team. Period. End of the story. You know what I mean? Now, as far as the Bucks, I mean, I like Malik Willis. He's a good quarterback, right? Like he's a decent quarterback. But I'm all about winning games. How many games we won with Malik Willis? And that's all I need to know. You know what I mean? So when you say Jordan Love, Malik Willis, I'm gonna say Jordan Love because we win games with Jordan Love.
Oh
Simple.
no,
It's real
I
simple.
agree. Jordan Love is our franchise quarterback, but he's often injured, and it's nice to have a safety net like Malik Willis in case he goes down, which he's been going down every season for a couple 3 to 4 games.
But is that
So
his
for us,
fault?
not,
Is that really his fault?
I'm not saying
What
it's his
about the
fault.
off? Is it his fault or the person who constructs the team? Like most teams that have a quarterback that they think is going to run a show, they build a offensive line that protects a quarterback.
We had, but
I'll
we've
say
lost
I'll say
Zach
this about
time.
that
We done
part.
lost Zach time. We've had injuries in the offense. What you need to talk about is the
No,
strength and
but
conditioning.
do we have a good enough left tackle? Do we have good enough
Rasheed
offensive line?
Walker, he's definitely not as strong as he could be. I'll say this. I'll say this about our offensive line, right? I've never been impressed with their ability to run block, right? Because Josh
Correct.
Jacobs hasn't, like, especially this year. Our pass defense is usually among the league leaders, but we do have weaknesses. To your point, I'm
Our
not
pass
like the
defense.
biggest
Pass offense, you mean?
our pass blocking for Jordan Love, right? We're usually among the league leaders as far as that. So we're
I've
one
seen
dimensional.
better. I've seen better, and you've seen better pass blocking offensive lines in Green Bay. Like this
Oh,
is the
for
worst pass.
sure. I
This
mean,
is the worst
there've
pass
been years
blocking
where
line.
we.
Look at all that pressure we get off the up the middle of the line. We get so much pressure straight off the middle of the line. That disrupts any quarterback. You
Correct.
can't just
To,
have
to,
people
to
running
what you're
straight up the
saying, I
middle.
would say
That's the easiest path to the quarterback.
to,
And
to
our
what you're
our
saying.
interior
I
garbage.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead. I'm
Dr.
sorry. I
Smith.
keep stepping on your
Go ahead,
shot.
Dr.
No,
Smith.
I keep stepping on your shot. That's my
Uh,
fault. You weren't finished. My
okay,
fault. My
go
fault.
ahead, Pronto.
No, so I just feel like I just know that if it was Tom Brady, if it was Peyton Manning, and you have a quarterback that you need to lean on, you got to build an offensive line. Because why would you have a quarterback that you think is a franchise quarterback and not build an offensive line around him that's going to protect the quarterback? He got injured because the interior of his offensive line was garbage. Simple as that. And that
I
was
gotta
all
push
that's been
back,
all
Pronte.
year.
I gotta push
What?
back, Pronte. The issue is that with the offensive line is we're drafting people that are bust. We've been drafting offensive linemen in the first round, and we thought we're gonna do something, and they've done nothing. The Morgan cat,
But
he's mid. So it's not they haven't been making the effort; they've been choosing the wrong people, or they're injured.
it
And
doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if you make the effort. You gotta get an offensive line. Effort is good, but you gotta get an offensive line. We know that interior of the offensive line is terrible. That's exactly why we can't run the ball too,
true,
because the
that
middle
is
of
true.
the line is terrible.
That's fair. That's true.
Pass
That's
and
true.
running blocking, and that's why teams just kill the Packers up the middle. So the Packers got to figure out the middle of that offensive line, and that's the bottom line. You got to get something better than what they got. Um, but at the end, because your quarterback got blasted last game, because the interior offensive
Right
line
up the
is still
middle, right up the middle.
right up the middle. That's been all year. That's been the last 2 years, right up the middle. So I feel like
To,
the Packers got to figure out that ASAP, because you got to protect that's your franchise quarterback. You got to protect him. Simple as
Uh,
that.
I mean,
Agree.
Um,
Go.
to me,
Oh,
the
you.
worst look that we had. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no. I say go. No, go ahead, Dr. Smith. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
I was saying to me, the worst look that our offensive line had all year was in that Cleveland game when you there was audio on the field and you heard one of the linemen saying, "Run, Jordan, run," because he had right. He was screaming for Jordan to run because he knew he blew the assignment, and that Miles Garrett was on his way to come kill our quarterback. And oddly enough, it wasn't Miles Garrett that eventually got him. It was somebody on the Bears who you had to know was going to come get him. Again, like I said,
Another thing,
I don't think that. I think a lot of things happen, right? I don't think it's just our offensive line, right? But to your point, I agree. I agree to a certain extent with what you're saying, right? I don't think that Jordan Morgan. I think he's a bust, and I'm tired of people like gaslighting me, like other Green Bay communities and whatnot, who are always trying to big him up and all that. Oh, you just got to let him develop. He's a bust, man. After 2 years, that brother's just.
He's not good
I'm
enough, right?
sorry. He's IHOP big. He's not weight room big. I keep hearing about how he's a weight room machine. I wish I would see it. He's getting moved around in this league. Now, to Green Bay tried to fix some of the stuff. They went out and got Anthony Belton in the draft. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a good player. Well, he's a developing player. That's a better way to put it. Rasheed Walker can leave this year because he's not bad. He's not great. He's just mid. And I'm too used to
He's a
David
backup.
Bakhtiari.
He's a
Yeah.
backup.
I'm so used to David Bakhtiari that he's never been that guy. Aaron Banks came over. They gave him all that money, and Aaron Banks is just
Trash.
mediocre. Elton
Trash.
Jenkins was supposed to be like our center. Elton Jenkins went from like our left guard, and that's where he was really good at. They moved him to center, and that's where he was really trash at. And that's what Green Bay does that I can't stand. That they'll draft people to play different positions, trying to make them multiple. And
Right.
and and I've heard people try to make this argument, well, you got to do it because people go down, and whatnot. But what ended up happening was that you took a Pro Bowl left guard and you made him an ass center. You
Right.
took right Jordan Morgan, who was supposed to be a left tackle coming into this league, but Jordan Morgan couldn't even beat out Rasheed Walker for the starting position. That was a terrible pick. It's even worse than that. When you had an opportunity to get the best center in the draft a couple of years ago, you went and
I
picked
remember
Josh
that.
Myers because in your mind, like there's a certain look that you wanted. And yeah, Green Bay, no jokes, they have blown it a couple of times with their offensive line. I don't know that I would blame that play entirely on that offensive line. I think things were exacerbated when Tucker Kraft is not in there because Tucker
Mm.
Kraft used to pick up a lot of blitzes. And then without Tucker Kraft, who do you have picking up blitzes? Luke Musgrave? We've
Hey, that's not
all
this.
seen the pick. Luke Musgrave got blasted into a backflip. I don't know if people remember that. That is the weakest tight end in football. So right now, we're not looking good on the line, just on the lines, period. Because the defensive line is not doing a whole lot better. The
I mean,
defensive line is front and center today.
to your point, we lose a game in the trenches, right? Both
Hmm.
trenches, offensive line and defensive line. So we can have an argument about defensive line. Defensive line is just as worse. It's worse
Yeah,
actually.
It's way
I mean,
worse.
it's
It's
actually
way
worse.
worse.
they're
I
they're
feel
on
I
It's
feel
not
like
blast
even
the
today.
defensive
close.
line is like people like, oh, Jeff Halley should be a head coach. I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. Take Michael Parsons off the team. What does Jeff Left Hafley gave your defense? I feel like the defense relied on Michael Parsons all year to do
Here,
to be a
here's what
good
I would say to
defense.
that.
He
Here's
wore
what I
him
would
out,
say to that. Right?
literally.
You, you got your cornerbacks who shouldn't be cornerbacks. Right?
Correct.
Keyshawn Nixon is not a starting cornerback on any team that's
Agree.
contending anywhere. Not with the technique that he has. I
Yo,
started
get
this
it.
this live saying Carrington Valentine, if he misses another tackle, I'm gonna lose my mind. And his counterpart is Keyshawn Nixon. You went out and you got Nate Hobbs, who started off the year injured, ended up behind the eight ball, can't get on the field, and when he is on the field, he's 3 steps behind everybody. It's the cornerbacks that are selling us out. You have the best tandem as far as safeties are concerned in football and the middle of your field. But these defensive ends without Michael Parsons are the same defensive ends that left that Philadelphia quarterback 7 seconds to throw the ball. So if I'm Jeff Hafley, I'm saying, well, what am I supposed to do with this? Because
But
Michael Parsons is like
no,
Giannis
no.
right now.
I
He's
hear
hiding a lot
you.
of
I
waters.
agree. I agree.
I hear you. But I would present you a good defensive coordinator, right? The good defensive coordinators make good defenses. I don't care what talent you have on the field.
You
And I've
need some
never seen
talent now.
I never seen a good no. I never seen a good defensive coordinator not have a good defense. Never. And you haven't either. I don't care. And they can take unknown players and make them into stars because they're good. Jeff Hafley is we relied on talent. He over relied on Michael Parsons like the Bucks over rely on Giannis.
Mm.
It's the same as Doc Rivers. It's no different. Look at his scheme today. No. Just pay attention. Look at his scheme the last
I
two
hear what you're
games.
saying.
No. What has? Well, how many turnovers have we created all year?
Oh, I feel you, but
About
I
five.
feel you, Pronte, but
About five.
Pronte,
With Michael Parsons
Valentine is
on the field.
bad, bro. Nixon is really
No.
Yeah,
Listen,
bad,
listen.
it's
bro.
a
Look,
bet.
They're
It's a
really
look.
bad,
No,
bro.
y'all missing the. Trust me. Let's say look at the coordinator without the unique player, and then you see what he really can do, and that's what we're seeing. That's what we're saying. We have talent. We have like 8 first round picks on that field. We have
That's
Xavier McKinney.
that's
No.
yeah.
Listen to me. We have
Okay.
Xavier McKinney. We have
Hmm.
we have
A
Evan
plus,
Williams. We have Adrian Cooper.
A
We have
plus,
Quay Walker.
A
We
plus,
have
A
we
plus.
we have players that can make plays. Are they in position to make plays though? They're not. They're
But
playing a vanilla
but
defense behind the offensive line, a defensive line that's inadequate. How about
that
you
but see that
emphasize
you
them?
that's the thing.
That's the
That
problem.
right
That's
there
the
that
But
you
that comes
just
with
said.
coaching, though. No,
That
that comes with coaching, y'all. Like that comes with
but
coaching. That's not.
but
That's
that's what
not.
he's
That's
trying
not.
to that's what he's
No,
trying to do is look.
he
No,
did it in South Carolina. He
I
had
agree.
200 yards.
I agree in some part with what you're doing. Like you saw it last year, and you do see it in some games this year, right? When you cannot get pass rush, the only way that you can get pressure on the quarterback is if you're doing stunts or if you're doing
or
blitzes.
bust.
We did stunts all last year. They started to pick that up. The problem, if we really want to get scientific about this defensive line, then I'm gonna go real quick, right?
All right.
Because I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. I do. I don't want you to think that I'm flat out disagreeing. I'm not. But our GM, who I don't blame for everything, certainly I think he's one of the best GMs in football. But I got to give you the L when it comes to defensive line because he had it in his mind. What he wanted out of the defensive lines, and those are those big elephant end defensive ends that we had. Whether it's Rashan Gary, whether it's Kingsley Enagbari, whether it's LVN. The problem with that is you don't have a change up pitch. So he wants to
What
collapse
does
the
the
line.
defensive coach do?
Hold on, listen. Let me finish. Let me finish. I'm saying he did not for years have a change up pitch. So all these guys are big, strong dudes who could collapse the line and not fast. They don't have any moves. That's why he went out and even before he got Micah Parsons, peep the science, he went out and got Colin Oliver, who himself has not been healthy to get on the field. Colin Oliver was supposed to be his speed rusher. We have no speed rush without us, and it's just each of these dominoes connect, right? If without a speed rush, without Micah Parsons, he's seeing this now. Gutekunst is seeing the error in his ways as far as drafting defensive ends. It's just too one-dimensional. Because without a change-up pitch, if you don't have speed, then you're leaving those corners
Correct.
out on islands. Those corners should not be trusted at all to be out on an island. At all.
But
If you
I
try
would
to
give you
hide
some
them,
credit.
but if let me finish. If you try to hide them and you play too high over the top, and you got Xavier McKinney on one side, you got Evan Williams on the other side to try and give these struggling cornerbacks some coverage over the top because as soon as you get past them, they're done. Then that leaves the middle of the field open, wide open. Where are these guys getting their receiving yards? Right in the middle of the field. That's exactly what has happened. One domino has hit the other. Xavier McKinney can't. You
I mean,
can't
but you keep saying that, but they didn't even pass the ball this game.
because
So
they're
it
That's
wasn't the
true.
running up the
quarterback.
middle.
Quarterbacks didn't
Because they're
lose this
running up the
game.
middle.
The quarterbacks
No,
The
didn't
middle
lose
is
this
still
game.
no,
the
not this
middle
game
is
in
Quarterbacks
still the
didn't
general.
pass
problem.
Dr. Smith. They didn't pass the ball at
What I'm
all.
saying is the middle is still the problem. The middle of the field right there is still the problem.
Did
With
they
this
pass the
one,
ball this
I would
game? We
say
blaming quarterbacks when a team didn't even pass the ball and they beat us. Think about
I
that. That don't
got
even
you.
make
I hear
sense.
you. I hear you. What I'm saying is that with cornerbacks that bad, he's not even having to throw the ball. He's covering for him, and the middle of the field is just to be had. To your point, I think Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper definitely could have had better games. There was a play where I saw Derrick Henry drag Edgerrin Cooper. I never want to see that again. I never want to see that again. Edgerrin Cooper probably played himself out of a Pro Bowl spot for that. You can't be a Pro Bowl middle linebacker and get dragged for a couple yards. It just can't happen, and it happened in this game.
I feel like I've seen better defensive coordinators with less talent on their field and make a better defense. I'm gonna be honest.
I
I've seen it.
I
I've seen
No,
it.
I,
I know that
I
you've
hear
seen
you.
it. I just want to
I'm
give him
saying
I
I've
just want to give
seen
him
better.
some slack because I
We
know we
don't.
have some very low IQ people on that defense that are
I
really
feel
hurting
like
this team.
we do, but with the speed we have on defense, with even without Michael Parsons, you should be able to generate turnovers. The thing is, when
Not
a
just Michael
defensive coordinator,
Parsons though.
a defensive no, a defensive coordinator's job is to create schemes. Our scheme is
Okay.
vanilla. It's preseason defense. It's prevent defense, as we all
We're,
seen all year. It's all
we're
zone.
not just missing.
It's all zone though. It's not
We're not
confusing.
just
How
missing
many
Michael Parsons though. We're missing
no,
Michael
no,
Parsons.
no, no,
We're missing
no, no.
Devontae Wyatt. We don't
But does
have a big.
Chicago have a Michael Parsons? Does any other team have a Michael Parsons? They don't. My thing
Chicago's
is,
defense is
with
trash
Michael
too.
Parsons, we should have had more turnovers. We don't have no turnovers. That's because the scheme was so dependent on Michael Parsons because the coach wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like he wasn't put in position. You got to put your players in position to win.
That's fair.
How many interceptions did McKinney get this year? How many interceptions did Evan Williams get this year? How many tunnels did we have this year? Because the quarterbacks was not confused about what the Packers were going to do on defense at all. It was too
Mm.
vanilla of a scheme. It was too relying on Michael Parsons breaking through three defenders, and it was just
He said three
relying on the player.
defenders.
It's Doc Rivers type of coaching. It's
I
just
see.
Oh
I knew he was
no.
gonna
players
do
that
that. I
drive
knew.
the
Yeah,
thing. When you are a
so
good
Jeff
coach,
Hafley's
you
as
don't
bad as
need good
Doc
players to
Rivers.
make a good defense. You don't need it. You just don't need it. Robert Salah, all the good coaches
Can't
go
foul.
wherever they go. All the good defensive coaches, and you can tell me all the good defensive coaches go to a team and turn that defense around with the same players that had that the coach couldn't. And my
Well,
thing
then
is,
I would present you the same question. I would present you the same question. What good defensive coordinator in the league right now does not have ball players? What good defensive coordinator
no, no,
right
no.
now
But
has a pair of cornerbacks that shouldn't be starting anywhere?
there's a plenty of
Carrington
good
is not a starting
coordinators that
quarterback.
don't have pro ball cornerbacks. They don't need them.
These guys are not
Like
even
they're good
starters.
with their
Yeah,
These
schemes.
guys are
They're
not
but
good
even
with
these
their
are
starters
really
schemes.
though.
bad.
You
I
have
think you
good
don't
schemes.
really
You're a good
understand
offensive
how
coach.
bad.
I'm not saying that the Packers have a good defensive line. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I know what a good defensive coordinator does. It disrupts the offense. I haven't
I
seen
hear what you're
Jeff
saying.
Hafley disrupt an offense without Michael Parsons.
I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is
What are
and
we
I'm not
talking about?
even completely disagreeing because I do think that he's called better games last year than he called this year.
Yes,
But I
he got
ask you the
lazy.
same thing though, is because you made the comparison that what defensive coordinator doesn't go and make that team better. And what I would say is what defensive coordinator has a whole position group right now that cannot be trusted. That's what frustrates
But
me about the
no,
Packers.
no, that's
They
where
can't
coach
be
like you.
trusted.
No, 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 no. That's where coaching comes in. Like coaching drives deep. The one thing is harder to coach offense, but when you go on defense and you
We
get a
gotta move to the
defensive
next topic
coordinator,
because we've
right?
been hanging on this too long. But go ahead and get your
All
last
right.
word
No,
on
Listen,
that.
when you get a good
I hear what
defensive,
you're saying though. I hear what you're
you know
saying.
what
I
I mean.
missed a
When you
good
get a good defensive
conversation.
coordinator, they turn around defenses with the same players they got. I've seen it happen over and over
No, and
again.
you can see it with Arthur. No, I agree with you. It's just like I just think we just really feel a way, honestly, about our secondary, especially our cornerbacks and our defensive line. And we think that I think that due to the lack of people with skill sets on our defensive line and our cornerbacks, it puts Hafley in a position where he has to play vanilla defense because if he blitzes, they can't hold it. Do you know how susceptible we are to double moves? Our
We didn't
cornerbacks.
stop the run, y'all. We
That
ain't been able
that's
to stop
just
the
this
run
game.
In
all
That's
this
just this
year,
game,
game.
y'all.
That's just
in
this
No, it
this
ain't.
game.
No, it
game, we
ain't. Think
didn't.
about it. No, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. What Panthers? Did we
No,
stop the run?
no.
Did
Look,
we? No, we did not. No, we
I'm
did.
not
No, 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 no.
disagreeing with what you're
Did we
saying.
stop
I'm
the
not
run?
saying no.
Think about it.
Hold on for a second.
Every team
Hold
that
on for a
beat us
second.
played ball
Hold on one
control
second.
offense.
Pronte. Hold
Am I
on. Go
lying?
ahead,
Just say,
Doctor.
just
Am
give
I
me
lying?
2 seconds. Hold on for a second. I'm certainly not saying that we are like the Seahawks against the run or the
All right.
Rams against the run. No one in their right mind would make that argument. What I'm saying is that all season long, the biggest problems that we've had on defense have not been against the run. The biggest problems that we've had on defense have been against the pass.
No.
Against the
Every
pass. When
game
we've
we
had our
lost, you
biggest
can look it up. Every game we lost, they ran the ball. Every game we lost, they ran the ball over 150 yards on us.
so
Every single
go back
game.
into the game
That's why you
where we
think
were
that they
playing
that the
teams like
Ravens came in with that game plan.
so go
Every
back
game. Every
so
game.
go back. All I'm gonna say is on that one, I'll just leave it to this. Go back and check the stats on the games that we've lost,
How many
and
rushing
look
yards
at
did the
what
Bears
is
have?
majorly penalty. This game is
How many rushing
obviously
yards did the
going.
Bears have?
Did the Bears have?
160
So yeah,
rushing
the
yards.
Bears
How many
and the
rushing yards did
Ravens that
the
killed us.
Panthers have?
The Bears and the
170
Ravens
rushing
that
yards.
killed us. But there are
Yeah.
other teams that were supposed to be supposedly really good against the run that we made them look very vanilla. I'm
Who?
not defending the defense after a performance like the Lions.
Mm,
The Lions. The Lions didn't have anything against the run against us this year, and the Lions weren't complete trash. I know they didn't make the playoffs,
all right.
but the Lions weren't trash against running the ball this year. Check their
I will
True.
give
stats.
you the
Then
Eagles. I
check
will
them
give
when we
you
played them.
I will give you the Eagles. I will give you the Panthers. I will give you the Browns. I will give you every team that emphasizes the run beat the Packers. Simple as that. They beat the Packers.
It
Why you
wasn't
think the
running the
team
ball
run
though.
heavy on the Packers?
If that's the
Why you think
argument that you're making, the Browns didn't beat us running the ball. The Browns beat us because our offense couldn't do anything against their deep. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying. I'll just leave it at that. I hear what you're
they
saying.
didn't get no
But
passing yards,
we
y'all?
just we
They just
have
got
different
running yards.
ideas on the major
No,
problem of
we
what
go
the
we go
defense is.
move on, and I
I'm
gotta
leaving
start
it
I
on.
Yeah,
gotta start
we
the
But
just
pack
I
too.
but
bet you when we lose the playoff game, I bet you they're gonna run the ball down our throats. They're not gonna win passing. I bet you that. I
We
can
gonna see.
guarantee that.
We
at this
definitely gonna
point,
see.
yeah. At
That's,
this point, it's hard. That's why I said I'm not completely disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is that you're blaming Jeff Hafley, as in you haven't figured this out. And what I'm saying is that we're missing more than Michael Parsons. There are three
we have to
people
overcompensate to stop the run. That's why we're not a pass.
because it's
That's
not
why
just Michael Parsons that we're
hey,
missing.
we have to
It's not
overcompensate
just
to
Michael
stop the run.
Parsons that we're missing. We're missing
No,
Devontae Wyatt, and we did not replace TJ Slayton. Those are two guys against the run right up the middle. We'd never replace TJ Slayton. We asked Kobe
even
Wooden to go
last year we
gain
couldn't
weight.
stop the run. Even last year we
We
couldn't stop
could
the run.
stop the run last year, though, Pronte.
Did we
Go
stop
back
the
and
run on the
check those
Eagles?
stats.
We lost because they ran the ball. We didn't win because they didn't run the ball. They didn't pass the ball. They just ran the ball.
Go back and check the stats as far as who we were
The
against the
Eagles,
run
you
last
telling
year.
me the Eagles beat us by passing the ball or they beat us by running the ball in the playoffs?
No, the Eagles beat us, but I'm saying that yes, the Eagles beat us. A big part of that was them running the ball, but we were not bad against the run. We weren't bad against the run. We lost against one of the best
Against
running
teams
backs
that
of all
don't
of
run the
football.
ball. I'm saying when we go against teams that emphasize the run, it's an automatic loss. It's an
Okay,
automatic
we gonna
loss.
see. We definitely gonna see. But I gotta start the pack here
I'm
in a
gonna tell
minute,
you,
y'all.
you're gonna see it in the playoffs. It's an automatic loss.
I,
We gonna see. I'm gonna
well, it
let you have your
definitely
last
is now.
words, Pronte. Let me let you have your last words when we go to Dr. Smith. I forgot how late it
Go
was.
ahead,
I need
Dr.
to
Smith.
pack.
I'm just saying the Packers gonna have they can't stop the run, and they haven't been able to stop the run all
No,
season.
that's I agree. I
Simple
agree
as
with
that.
that.
Simple as that. And
Um,
that's
That
with
part.
Devontae Wyatt in, with Devontae Wyatt out. Every team that really beat us, they played ball control offense and was dink and dunk and run the ball. That's all it was. We it wasn't and yeah, you got the defense quarterback. I'm not saying they not good, they're not adequate. But teams have figured the Packers out that they don't even really gotta pass it that much because they can ball control the
mhm.
clock with the running game, and limit the offense from touches. Simple as that, because the Packers can't stop the run. And until the Packers figure it out, they're gonna be out. They're gonna be
No,
out
I agree with
because
you.
they got
No, I agree with you on that one. That's just really
that's
what
it.
it is. On you, Dr. Smith. Before I gotta pack these folks. Go ahead,
Just
Dr. Smith.
that part I agree with. I do agree that at this point, us not being able to stop the run is concerning. I don't agree that we weren't able to stop it all season. That I don't agree with. I think it's right there to see. When the Broncos beat us is because Keyshawn Nixon was not an NFL cornerback at all and got cooked all game. When the Cowboys tied us is because we didn't have cornerbacks at all. And Dak Prescott cooked us all game. We can keep going. But
We didn't lose that game.
to what you're saying at this point, as far as us being able to stop the run now, wholeheartedly agree. Because we're so
We
bad
ain't been as
that people
the
aren't even
we
concerned with Keyshawn Nixon. We haven't been
Mhm.
able to stop the run against
every
that
team
team.
has a different scheme.
Hold on,
That's all
Pronte.
I'm
Let,
saying.
let, let the Dr. Smith finish, and I'm gonna go to you. Go ahead, Dr.
I,
Smith.
I, but this is the part I agree with you on. At this point, here, right now, right here, right now, especially after that game that we just had against the Ravens, I know that the Ravens are overemphasize their run. So you're looking at like the best running team in football as far as their schemes. They are, and with the amount of runs that we do. But I'm not making excuses. They are though. I'm just that's to me is not debatable, right? Them guys, whether they got Lamar Jackson in, whether they or not, as long as Derrick Henry is back there with all of the different schemes that they have, but it doesn't matter because those are the types of teams that you're going to see in the playoffs. So this is what I do agree with you on. We got cooked against the run. I agree. This is where we're right here because over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. That to me is humiliating. They got cheese grater hats. That it was that for me. They were wearing cheese grater hats on the sideline. Derrick Henry was jumping up in the stands. Usually when teams do that or players do that, visiting teams do that, they'll go
Player
look
game.
for like their own fans and go jump into their arms. Derrick Henry just jumped right into Green Bay fans because just like the players, no one was stopping him. No one was stopping him. So whether it was the quarterback running up the middle on those option plays or Derrick Henry running the ball, we could not stop the run. On that note, me and you, Pronte, are eye to eye. We could not stop the run. And if they don't figure that out, if Jeff Hafley, who I think is better than you're giving credit for, but if he does not figure that out moving forward, doesn't matter who we play in the playoffs, we're not going to beat them. I think we have too many guys out. I think that there's only so much that you can do at a certain point, but right now the Packers are dangerously susceptible against multiple different things on defense. I don't trust our cornerbacks, and now we can't stop the run at all. And it hasn't been like that all season. I don't agree with that, but we are definitely that now. We're definitely that now. So whether it doesn't even really matter at this point whether we were like that or because we're like that now as we live and
Facts.
stand right now. The brothers that they put in right now cannot stop the run. You got Carl Brooks when we are on a 4th and 1, jumping the line, getting false starts or defensive encroachments, excuse me, and then blowing plays up. Kobe Wooden, I think, has run his course. I like him, but he's not a starter. He's run his course. I think he was a decent replacement for someone like TJ Slayton. We really miss TJ Slayton. We obviously miss Micah Parsons. And I think we're hurting right now. And it
Facts.
sucks. It sucks. Because the start of this season, the way our defense looked, I was thinking we could have took anyone. And we literally go from that to I don't recognize this defense against the run. Keyshawn Nixon is a dub. I would have gave Carrington Valentine more credit than I am here lately, but Carrington Valentine's a dub. He can't tackle. It's sad that but you know what? At least Giannis is back, so maybe this is why I said I can't have
I
nice
just
things,
feel
right?
like
Because
Dr. Smith, I'm with you, Dr. Smith, but I just feel like Michael Parsons was Giannis for the defense. I feel like he was covering a
I
lot of
agree.
flaws.
Mhm.
I
And
agree.
both
I agree.
people would have given him credit for his run defense, but he would have stopped some of them first downs because he was just that presence that you had to
Mhm.
triple block just to get because nobody was breaking through their blocks.
Mhm.
Nobody was block shedding. So it was just him.
I
His,
agree.
his presence actually made our run defense better than it actually really was. You see what I'm saying? It made our schemes better than they actually were. That's my thing. It's just the same as the Bucks. You know what I mean? So when Michael Parsons come out, you see what the coach can really do. And I'm saying he has to prove himself because when you have a player like Kobe, you have a player like Jordan, you have a player like Giannis, you have a player like Michael Parsons, who came in the league as almost a defensive player in the league. They already affect and impact the games in ways that most players can't. And
Right.
my thing is, as a coach, it was evident because nobody else was getting off but Michael Parsons. That the coach wasn't doing enough to get everybody. Everybody else was playing vanilla defense behind Michael Parsons. They were so safe. They were so not. They not. I feel like Michael Parsons got injured because we over relied on him to generate all the pass rush, all the defensive intensity, and everybody else was just pacified and conservative and not talented. You see what I'm saying? And the coach didn't put some of our players that he did last year in position to help Michael Parsons. Like Edrin Cooper played really passive this year. Last year he was really really dynamic, and they didn't use him the same way this year. They had him take a step back, and that I think that over we talking about usage rate that was over usage on Michael Parsons. You know what I mean? So without Michael Parsons, this is what the defense always was. And I think this is what the scheme always was. And the coach didn't put players in position. See, how many interceptions did McKinney have last year? You see what I'm
I
saying?
think he
Like
had about
like
but
eight.
all right. So see what you just said because that's my evidence that Jeff Hafley is not. Doc Rivers because I see the comparison you're making. I do. That when you have a player like Giannis, he hides a lot of your awards. I see the comparison. I do. My point is that Green Bay was a top five defense last year, statistically, without Micah Parsons. And some that is a fact. That's not like that's a statistics when it comes to yards, when it comes to touchdowns given. Like Green Bay was top 10 in both of those, and I think they were top five overall. The
Mhm.
problem, I do think, is that a lot of these teams wanted to be very similar to what the Eagles did, right? Because it is a good defense. If you could generate pass rush without having to send blitzes and whatnot, if you could drop more people into coverage, then as a final product, it looks fantastic and things fell apart, not just when Micah Parsons went down. I think Micah Parsons was obviously it expedited our downfall, right? But things started to go bad for us when Devontae Wyatt went down because Rashan
Mhm.
Gary was not the running partner for Michael Parsons that we all thought that he was automatically going to be. In fact, it was Devontae Wyatt right up there in the middle. If you go back to last year, the Eagles, when their defense, and you look at their defensive line, the brother who ended up going to New England, I'm forgetting his name right now, but he was someone that was like a big name in free agency. Devontae Wyatt ended up turning into him for us. And between him and Micah Parsons, they were the ones who were generating most of the pass rush with a sprinkling of Rashan Gary and Lucas Van Ness. I think some of this is player accountability. I think some of it is player accountability. Rashan Gary has fallen so far away from where we thought that he would be. And I started this live talking about him there because I was trying to give him props for at least stopping the run. But where is he doing that tonight? You can't
My
sack the quarterback. You can't stop the run. You can't do anything. Everything
my
is not
point is,
schemed. Some of these guys are just dubs right now who weren't dubs last year. Sean Gary's a dub.
who
Keyshawn
sets the
Nixon's a
tone though?
dub.
Who sets the tone as the coach though?
I
Yeah,
see. My
we
thing
got to
is
stop
that
this.
at what
Gentlemen,
at
gentlemen,
what
we
point
got
does
to
it
stop
become
this. I'm
player
Am I
gonna let you get
lying?
your
accountability?
last word.
Is
At
it
We
what
gonna
is
get
point
that
is
your
is
it
that the
last
is
coach
it
word.
on
that
the
did that,
players?
or is that the players? Is the
At
players
what
messed
point is
up,
it on the
or did they
players
change
though?
the scheme? Did they
But
change the
at what
scheme?
point is it on the players? At
Who
what
changed?
point is it
Who
on the
changed the
players?
scheme though? The coach did.
So okay,
Clearly, clearly, the
so
coach did.
so here's my question.
Clearly,
So here's my question. In the Denver game, because if we're talking about losses, right? When Keyshawn Nixon got turned completely around, was that on Jeff Hafley or was that on Keyshawn Nixon? When he got turned completely around, I'm talking about like when this dude
I
did
mean,
a
we focused on
360
Keyshawn
against the
Nixon.
grain trying to find his
I
receiver.
just know that three of our what 6 losses came just by straight running the ball. It was not Keyshawn Nixon that lost the game. Now Keyshawn
Oh,
Nixon can lose the game, right?
so I could
But
go
Keyshawn
ahead.
Nixon, who won the Bears game for us? Also Keyshawn Nixon. My thing is because he gambled. He didn't. That wasn't the play when he made the interception on the Bears. That wasn't a play to Jeff Aldi. That wasn't even his man. Who's not playing? Who's playing? Who's coaching too conservative? Keyshawn Nixon or the coach calling plays?
That wasn't Jeff Hafley's fault either. Because if we're talking about people not following their instruction, Keyshawn Nixon gambled and won the play. But do you know who was supposed to be in on that play? Because he told you. Evan Williams was supposed to be there. They called the right
But
play.
if
Evan
Evan Williams
Williams
don't
messed
come up,
up.
what happens? If Evan Williams don't come up, what happens? If Evan Williams don't take a risk, what happens? He runs for a first down easily.
I, maybe. Or maybe another player who was in there
Maybe.
cleans it up.
Come
There
on
were
now.
multiple players in on that play. I
Bro,
think Jeff.
yo, I gotta,
All
Yeah,
I
right,
gotta
I was
get
we're
about
up
gonna
to
move
out of
say.
on.
here.
We're gonna move on.
All right.
I
I
got
think
you.
that sometimes coaches get great players and they stop coaching.
That's
Simple as
that's
that.
a fair statement. We gonna see what's up.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
simple as that.
I gotta
I'll
They
pack,
leave it at
stop.
bro.
that.
They
It could
stop
I
very well
gotta
be
implementing
that.
pack.
schemes. They work less harder. They just rely on talent. And I feel like the Packers
And
defense,
you think
the
that's what
Packers
happened
defense
this year
started
with
this
Jeff
year.
Hafley?
We finna see it. We finna see it all. We over relied on Michael Parsons. Now you got to get his players motivated to actually do what they did last year or the year before that because he didn't put them in position to make plays because he only wanted one. He only said, "Oh, we got Mike Parsons. We ain't got to do none of that no more." We should have been doing it all year.
Well,
We'd
he
have
got
had
a
more
couple.
turnovers. We'd have been a more dynamic defense. We'd have been the defense of the Packers that we know that win Super Bowls, the ones that create turnovers. We
I
never
will
created
agree.
May-
those.
may-
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Vanilla,
that
vanilla,
I will
vanilla.
agree with
But,
you with. We are not creating turn, but the Pronto, I gotta go, bro. I gotta pack these clothes, bro. I
okay.
appreciate
All
y'all,
right.
bro. We gonna finish this conversation. Dr. Smith,
For
I
sure.
appreciate you. Pronto, I appreciate you. And I don't. I think what y'all don't see, y'all both kind of saying the same thing in a different
No,
way.
I agree. I don't want to. I don't want to make it sound like
The,
I'm
I
arguing.
agree.
I'm not arguing.
yeah,
I agree
no,
with
no,
most of what you're saying. I
no, it
do.
is. It just seen from different perspectives or different lenses, but it's the same thing. So I just want to say that before we get up out of here. I appreciate y'all
Yeah,
tapping it,
no.
and I think this was a great
No, I
conversation. I
agree.
would keep it going, but I got to get up early and pack, so that's the only
Are
reason.
you?
But
Are you?
we
You
Where
go.
heading
you at?
back?
Yeah, I'm headed. Hey, bro, I'm just
Where you
outside for a bit. I'm just outside for a bit.
at?
I hear
Okay.
All
you. You
right.
sound like me
Good.
now. We
Outside it
both
All right,
in
bro.
is.
Baltimore. All right.
All right, y'all.
Salute,
All right,
family.
bro. I
Good
tell you. All
conversation.
right.
Salute. Salute. Salute.
All right, bro. All right, Dr. Smith. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. I do gotta pack these clothes. Friends and family, another intense live, a great conversation between Dr. Smith and Pronte. Awesome. Bucks got to win. Giannis came back and dropped almost 30. The Packers defense is trash. We just let a team that only had one good player, and that player was Derrick Henry, ran on us for 216, 4 touchdowns. The Packers are not ready for the playoffs. Period. Comment, like, subscribe, share the electrifying content. Keep the conversation going in the comment section. Go. Let Derrick Henry run for 216 in Lambeau Field 4 times.